What's good, YouTube? We got us a quick little video from King Churros, Ben 10 stopping Viltrumite invasion without Alien X. As always, we're going to pre-fire us a like. You know what I'm saying? We're going to, when we subscribe, make sure we hit the bell. We're going to see if he is a authentic content creator. In the event he is, in the event that he's tough, we'll subscribe and hit that bell. Discord comments link in the description. Then I hope you stay tapped in every time I post a YouTube video, which is twice daily, and every time I go live on Twitch. Without further ado, we're going to jump straight into it.
Could Ben 10 and the Plumbers stop a deadly Viltrumite invasion? With the release of Season 3 of Invincible, I got to thinking, could they handle Ben and friends who deal with aliens on a regular? Obviously with Alien X.
I mess with his voice, and he has good pacing, because if he talked a lot slower, it would still be within the sweet spot, like 10 to 15 minutes, but like talking at this pace makes it like good reactions, because I can talk now for like 5-8 minutes, and it's not going to be like the video's 40 minutes. The video's just going to be like 15.
It's a no-brainer. So what happens if we remove him from the equation? The Viltrumites don't play, and they're probably the most brutal opponent.
By the way, if you disagree, I don't know why. Tell me down below in the comments. But Alien X is a no-brainer. Pretty much a reality warper. And is indestructible. So even if you count the fact that he has to like debate with them, one of them's compassion. So if it's an invasion, he can get at least two out of 3 of them to agree. And then he start going crazy.
Opponents Ben will ever face. And with no Alien X, it's not looking very close. So
not looking very close is crazy when we have way big feedback, etc.
let's see if Ben and the Plumbers could even survive. But before we do, please help the boy reach 2K subscribers. We are almost there.
Facts.
And if you do, I will in fact, yes indeed, gift you a dancing dog. An amazing gift.
I don't really need the dancing dog, but I'm messing with the content. Go subscribe, bro. Hit that bell, man. Saying share the love, man. Us on YouTube as a community.
Gift, I know. But with all of that out of the way, let's begin. The Viltrumites are an elite breed of aliens who are racist! They believe they're superior to all races, and thus they get to conquering, slaughtering worlds, and advancing their kind. Omni-Man ISO'd an entire planet by himself, and the power
ISO, you say y'all struggling with the Thraxons? I got you.
needed to pull this off would be enough energy to wipe away multiple continents. Australia would be thankful with the way their wildlife be moving. This is pretty consistent for Viltrumites to have this level of power when our favorite punching bag Mark did something similar. Mark slams Alan the alien so hard it made a Rick Ross sized crater, also requiring multi-continental amount of energy, which is pretty saucy since this feat wasn't even Mark's maximum output. Yes, that's right, Viltrumites can be argued even more powerful. Omni-Man's flexing about diverting a meteor the size of Texas. Considering Texas is pretty big, this turns out to be a moon level feat. Then the big feat is when Mark and gang slid through the planet Viltrum just like EDP with underage girls DMs. This
chill. But that is like one of the go-to feats that they destroyed the planet, and then people kind of nerf it by hitting it's 3 of them. It's a planet, and then arguably Viltrum is bigger than Earth.
Impressive feat has many calculations, from small planet to standard size planet. So don't even try yapping about Homelander and Omni-Man, bro. That's just not gonna work. However, there is a higher end interpretation with the explosion coming out to large planet to even dwarf star. This is pretty contentious between invincible scalers due to a number of factors, such as the big 3 thinking they might end up in a rap battle with Tupac after this, but others claim this is due to the hot core of the planet. I don't want no beef, so I'm gonna let y'all decide which interpretation you want to go with. I think they're small planet. Their power level is not the only thing that makes them crazy, but their speed is impressive as well, with Omni-Man traveling far faster than the speed of light casually. And other characters like Alan the Alien can react to MFTL spaceships, and Viltrumites can box and outpace them, making their massively faster than light speed pretty consistent. They can be from
Maharago this verse game.
Anywhere of over 100 times the speed of light to millions times the speed of light. Like, that's actually crazy. As for hacks, they're mostly just big, strong. With their smart items, they got some adaptations and resistances to extreme temperatures. However, if they're in the sauce for too long, they are weakened to it, along with the pinpoint high intensity sound, aka if you play some NBA Youngboy music. Other than that,
I didn't even think about that. Echo is like a shoe-in to like really do some damage to these.
The Viltrumites are set. It's time we find out if Ben and the Plumbers can defend the planet Earth from the oncoming invasion. The Viltrumites, after catching Flu 19, made their population real low, now having around 37 members, and some of them looking like the Chiefs after the Super Bowl. To help them out, I'm including Conquest, Omni-Man, and Invincible to the mix, considering they're some of the strongest Viltrumites in the series, and they can make up for some of the injured Viltrumites. So with this set of Viltrumites, they pull up on Earth with their JBL speakers ready to rip this world into a new one. But this is not the first time Ben's Earth dealt with an alien invasion. The Plumbers have a planetary shield to keep invaders out. It kept the incursions from instantly breaking in, and they have planet-busting weaponry. However, I don't think they use said weapons to break through, but this will still allow time for.
Also, it's crazy too because Ben could also just copy Viltrumite DNA. So I'm very intrigued on like what route he goes with while like explaining this.
Ben and gang to ready up, which draws the question: are they even powerful enough without Alien X to stop this? Well, let's flash back to Child Ben and one of his biggest ops, Malware. One of his most goated villains was heated because he was chopped and ugly compared to the rest of his species. In an attempt to get his drip up, he absorbs a helix that had enough energy to blow up a large moon. The power output would come out to 272 zetatons, or planet level, and Ben's aliens are able to defeat this version of Malware. Over time, Ben's aliens actually get stronger, evidenced by Malware himself, with a deformed Malware knocking 4 arms up through several floors and making him need a breather. Yet when he upgraded, 4 arms got bro bouncing around like Mark. And another example with Vilgax. Early series Vilgax put every alien on a t-shirt, in particular Diamond Head. But later in Alien Force, Diamond Head folded him. This is significant because Vilgax became 10 times more powerful, meaning Ben's aliens should at least be 10 times stronger, bumping their AP to large planet. This crazy power would also apply to the homies as well. The boy Rook was able to box with multiple opponents who were pressing Ben's aliens. So yes, the boy Rook could be argued large planet as well. Let that sink in. Gwen outright fought with Ben's aliens, but to be fair though, they were both holding back, and in her true form, she's capable of taking out Ben's ultimate aliens, with Dagon, an interdimensional being who destroys universes, calls her the most powerful being. So yeah, she's up there too. And Kevin, depending on the absorption, has also shown relativity as well, especially if he has access to Ben's aliens, but very unlikely in this scenario unless it's his final option. Speed-wise, Ben's
I think he's a Osmosian or something. I think that's what they call Kevin's race.
Aliens can react to a variety of attacks that will make them FTL. The UAF trio could react to an amalgamated aggregor who could travel this fast. So comparing their more mid-ends, the Viltrumites are cooked. With Viltrumites being multi-continental to small planet, they're strong. But on average, most of Ben's aliens are large planet to debatably higher. And then some of his aliens...
And for those of you who are not like crazy into power scaling, to put it simply, Ben's durability scale is higher, and what he's able to damage is relative, if not higher, which means he's going to be able to put pause on them, but their hits are not going to be too much to him. Not to mention they have weaknesses he can take advantage of.
Exploit Viltrumite weaknesses, such as Echo, who specializes in high-frequency attacks, and Blitzwoofer, who's confirmed to have more powerful sound-based attacks, and aliens like Heat Blast, NRG, and even Atomics, who have high-temperature manipulation, could pull off some crazy work on the invaders. Along with the hacks-based aliens like Ghost Freak, who can possess Viltrumites like Thrag or Mark, the strongest of the Viltrumites, and just body the rest. My guy Rook is going to pull LeBron numbers on the Viltrumites, dropping them like prime Mike Tyson. Gwen can out-hacks a ton of the Viltrumites, and Kevin is going to be a tank. So with the lower to mid ends, the Plumbers got it for sure. But what about
looking at the squad too? They got like the perfect lineup. They got Ben, who's like a all-rounder class, Gwen, who's a support / DPS, Kevin, who's DPS / tank.
The higher ends for the Viltrumites coming in at large planets of Dwarf Star? They will be a big problem for the lower ends of the Plumbers, but not their higher ends. Aggregor in his amalgamated form laughed at Humongosaur's punches and believed he could tank solar system level explosions. Mutated Kevin beat this guy, then Ultimate Echo folded him. Aliens like Waybig and Atomic can fight with these ultimate forms of the aliens, along with full power Gwen, who can low diff opponents who can box with the ultimate aliens, as she threatened to beat them herself. So Ben's high tier aliens and Gwen at her maximum AP would still victimize the Viltrumite, which Mark is happy about because he loves getting his jaw rocked in. Other than that, I think it's safe to say Ben and the team saves the Earth.
Yeah, that's why in that video we talked about how to better Grayson, my glorious goat, Richard Grayson, is like that. I mess with Mark, I mess with Invincible, I read the book, but like, bro, at this point, I'm not mad at the like casual watchers calling him Invincible
yet again. But what do you guys think? Be sure to let me know in the comments below. And sorry that this video came out late. My laptop been hating me. It's been crashing over and over. That's why this video is really short and I couldn't go into as much detail as I would like. So yeah, there's that. Hopefully I can resolve this issue soon. But with all of that said and out the way, I'll catch y'all later.
Catch you then, bro. Subscribe to you too, man. Shout out to King Churros. This is a top tier video. And yeah, that was my take on that, man. Let me know down in the comments how y'all feel about that video. If y'all want to see more King Churros. Also, let me know how you are. You know what I'm saying? How you been doing? And Yeah, if you need motivation, man, let me know. Just comment down below. This is Safe Space. I know it's time to find me tomorrow, man.